Jonnyroobs. Hey, I wanted to tell you happy birthday, brother. Welcome to 49. I've been waiting on you to get here. It's been about a month. So we're glad to have you. I don't know if you can tell I'm at your celebration. In the background, you'll see the fireworks going off. Anyways, love you, brother. Hope you're having a good day. Enjoy your birthday.
Powered by Riverside FM.
You're listening to the 2400 Block Podcast with Jonnyroobs.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to a fresh episode of the 2400 Block Podcast. And I'm Jonnyroobs, and I'm joined here with my fellow wingman, Ken, a.k.a. Cerebral Cornchex. Now, we have a special guest who is actually making her debut today in the podcasting community, and we are delighted and honored to have her on with us. And I'm sure many of you viewers and listeners do remember our previous guest, Lauren Petrullo, from a few episodes ago. As it turns out, we are hanging out with her PR assistant from Mongoose Media. Now let's give a major round of applause for Claire Griffin. Thanks for coming by the block. Happy birthday, Ken.
Oh, man. That's right. Our birthdays was Saturday.
Happy birthday to both of you.
Yeah.
Yay.
It's crazy how long we've been knowing each other, like since 97 or 97. And before social media, you know, this guy and his creative blogging and everything like that, and me somehow said, oh, I'm just going to pick being a family person right off the bat. And, you know, when I look back at my life and, you know, trying to find this, I'm an entrepreneur minded, like just, you know, and this is a, you know, sidebar for you people that don't think we're not, what's the word I'm looking for? Disabled. Elon Musk. We got Albert Einstein.
For the ADHD crew.
I'm pretty sure Richard Branson. These are the people that are running things because their brains, the serial entrepreneur is how we operate, because we can get things started. We can have the talented people involved because they love the details. We love the big picture. So it's like, it's perfect.
Yes.
So someone told me this, and this is a little funny because I was like, I was a little tickled about it. ADHD are going to be the new race of human. Like the ADHD person is going to be the new race of humans. And I believe it for how many people I meet. Like we're taking over, and like we said, neurodivergence doesn't mean, oh, we're not good at school. It just means I'm running at a speed faster than I care to be in, and I'm bored. But if you were to get it to me on my flash action, no problem. You know,
yes.
MacGyver with the information. Yeah.
They love to disrupt, and they don't have to, and entrepreneurs don't have to wait on anyone else to start something new. That's the beauty. I want to do this. I'm feeling impulsive. I want to do this thing right now. Okay, I'm going to do it. I don't have to wait for approval. No. You're not punching somebody else's clock. You can just take action right away and get something going, whether it's a business or, oh my God, all the hobbies I've started, you know, on an impulse that you know, took for a week and then, you know, I'm on to something else. But businesses, that's the beauty of it, is you can start something macro, like you were saying, like we're much more big picture, macro, zoom out, like what do we want this company to do, or what do we want this business to give to people, and then you can delegate to those executors on your staff or in your team of like, right, I can't do the nitty gritty email stuff. I need you to help me with that, you know, and knowing where our strengths lie, and
that's real for you, right? That admin part, that's real for you. Because I'm going to talk about struggles. I'm going to get into the dark side of it, because
let's get dark with it. Let's get
you know what?
Dark with it.
Darth Vader Mandalorian action here. Yes. By the way, the podcast, and I'm, you know, because I call him JE because that's what I know him as, and he goes, well, I'm Jonnyroobs, and you know, but
Jonnyroobs was 1999. So
yeah, it was so 1999. So I'll lighten it up before we get dark. What do you think about that? When I went back to the whole handicap placard, like, what do you think about employers in the workplace when it comes to neurodivergence? Like, yeah, I personally don't really know what accommodations I need, to be honest with you, because of the coping mechanisms. And mine was diagnosed at 36. So for you, almost in a way, you went through those phases of medication and your coping skills were different. Whereas mine, I get diagnosed at 36. 10 years later, here we are. Like, hey, they didn't even give me an orientation on ADHD. They just give me some, medication.
There's no roadmap. There's no booklet. Yeah. There's no like instructional pamphlet, for how to navigate it. As a former manager, and we can jump into that later, but I went to school for hospitality at Western Illinois. Shout out. And
shout out.
And go leathernecks. Crazy
leathernecks. Wow.
Yes. It's a whole story.
Love it.
but so I went to school for hospitality and was a manager with Let Us Entertain You, the Chicago-based restaurant group, for approximately 6 years. And so in that time, as someone who's known deeply about my own neurodivergence most of my life, it's been easy for me, not easy, but more natural to identify that in other people. Like, oh, you're like me. And so that made me a really good manager because, in some ways, listen, I'm human and, I learned a lot and, I wasn't great at the beginning.
I thought you were a superior alien being. My bad. You're human.
Stop that. Stop that. I'll take it. I'll take that all day.
Morning compliments. There you go.
Right. Oh my God. I'm feeling so special right now. But yeah, it helped me a lot, I think. And I am a natural empath. I'm very empathetic to people.
Oh, man. Of my
listen,
heart.
we're all just trying to survive this life. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Everybody's got
their
own shit. Everyone's got their own shit they're just trying to battle through every day, whether you're rich, poor, you've got a great job, you got a terrible job. So that helps a lot in identifying what people are really struggling with at work. And if you're a good leader, you change what's going on. So if someone's underperforming in a certain area of a restaurant, for example, maybe they just don't freaking like that position. Maybe they're better in front of the house. Maybe they're chatty. Maybe I should put them at the host stand.
Figure versus you should do it because everybody has to start from there.
Yeah, you can't put a round peg in a square hole. And so if somebody's
just sent really the other day,
yeah. And so if you're a good leader, you're going to identify that, sit them down, ask them what they want, and if there's a spot for them, maybe and this is just such a rudimentary example, but maybe your person at the host stand is actually an introvert. Maybe they'd rather be in the prep kitchen where they don't really socialize and they can just chop, and that's very soothing for a lot of people that don't enjoy social interacting all day.
Exactly.
I mean, as soothing as manual labor goes, it's a hard ass job. Don't get me wrong, but it's a hard ass job. It's hot back there. There's knives everywhere. Shit is dangerous. But,
are we talking about the kitchen and whatnot?
Yeah, front of house versus back of house, I find is a very good example. Some people would rather just be in their zone, doing their work, punch in, punch out, and that is actually very structuring and comforting to them. And other people need to be schmoozing with the guests, or, oh my God, it's, Mrs. Nelson's birthday, let's hook her up with a fancy cake and whatever, cool things like that. So it's just about identifying and then talking it out, seeing what they think they want. And
you hear that,
how
employers?
Close you can get to that. Yeah, for real. Yo,
you got
listen to your people because they're gonna leave. They're gonna leave, and then they're gonna badmouth you on Glassdoor or other job websites. Yeah. And nobody wins. Pay it forward. Put some good karma out there. Take care of your people. You care about your own life. These people have their people they're taking care of. They have kids. They have sick family members. Dude, we're all trying to survive, man. Let's do it together.
We're not even talking about
just
neurodivergence. Yeah, we're talking about human beings.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
And speaking of
100%.
human beings, I in the trucking industry, you are far from a human being.
Yeah, that's got to be
feats,
rough.
Yeah, the feats that we perform, and me obviously having ADHD, I have forgotten the gas cap so many times. Leaving and you're 300 miles in, you're like, oh, so I'm not going to say anything about that.
Wow.
Or people are like, why are people honking at me? Like, what's wrong?
Right.
What's going on?
And you're sitting up there like,
bro.
yeah. And I'm like, oh man, this guy's gonna flip me off. Oh, typical, And the guy's trying to help you.
What are they talking about? Yeah, exactly. Oh my God, that's stressful.
Yes. So and I bring that up because not even just the workplace. It would be nice, and I know one of the things that I plan on doing as a energy medicine doctor / Ayurvedic wellness practitioner is I'll go to the Capitol, because if we're talking about ADA and we fall in the same category, then we're like lagging when it comes to accommodations in public. But on the dark side, which is the reason why the dark side exists, is that same person who has to that's introverted, that has to be in the front as a waiter and in the spotlight, has a lot of anxiety, and that anxiety begets rage,
Oh, and yeah. It's a time bomb at that point for anybody. It's got to go somewhere, right?
Right. So. And it turns into the mental health issues. So for me, and this is not about me, but we're talking about neurodivergence, is that led to my suicidal ideations. Besides relationships, not really understanding Kendrick as Kendrick is, being slower and methodical in what I do, you find that life's really tough, and then you start questioning yourself. Maybe I am severe, or so on and so forth, and this relationship doesn't work because I'm this and the other, and there's negative self-talk. But I learned a big one, which is self-care and self-love, and you mentioned that's you're a big advocate of that. Ironically, not even ironically, it's really weird to say I don't know how to do that, because when as a man, and I don't want to get into gender things, but I'll generalize it. The whole keep it pushing attitude or fake it till you make it thing is very toxic, because if that's all you know, then here we are in 2023, you're hearing about self-love, like I thought self-love was respecting myself, but it turns out that it's making sure you take a shower every day, don't be depressed, and like, I shouldn't say don't be depressed and being undepressive. Just, the simple things like brush your teeth, and it's like, I do that, but I don't really have a network of people that I do outside, because I'm so methodical, I'm so into the family, I'm so into this, and it would probably be less resentment if I had in my art outlet, my singing outlet for the week. So expand on self-care. I mean, what does that look like for you?
I love how you put everything just now. Ken, I could listen to you forever, man. I swear to God.
Oh my God.
Swear to God. I'm like, just say more.
On these compliments. Tell me more about my brain.
You're the man, Ken.
No, I love how you broke that down so beautifully, because there is an epidemic right now, and it ain't COVID. It's toxic positivity.
Toxic positivity. Tell them. Well,
listen to this, because it's and I'm glad you did bring up gender stuff, because I do believe that does play a role in a lot of people, because especially for men, like, toughen up, man up, grow a pair. Like, there's all these man, like, what a man should be. And to me, a real man is someone who's able to check in with themselves and get in touch with what they're feeling, and not just suppress, put it down, pack it down tight, and like rub some dirt on it. Like, that is such a load of crap. So I'm glad you kind of like grazed
touch
that.
up on the gender aspect, and I don't
that
really
is
buy into it.
Understated, big time.
I don't really buy into it, but look. We're talking about evolution. So our parents did what they worked with in that time frame, said things that they said because of those times. But where we are now is different in the sense that we evolve as a society. So the keeping it pushing thing, all those people, and for me, Gen X, goes into the psychiatric ward, the hospitals now, because we've been doing these things that are counterintuitive to our brains. And for me, I'm like, I thought that was it. Like, you just said something that was very pivotal. You said, I respect a man that can check in. And I think to myself, I was born as a nurturer. I can play the macho role. I can play I'm MacGyver when it comes to behavioral, but that seems to be differently looked at, or the perspective of it is looked at. And I've never been appreciated for that aspect. I mean,
that breaks my heart, Ken.
Yeah. I mean, it's really strange, in my marriages, that also was an ADHD thing, fortunately. Marriages, I intuitively, literally, if you're talking about the universe, I download information directly from the eighth dimension. Like, I have intuitive knowledge about being that nurturer, and it was almost like you're borrowing the information from me to only claim it for yourself. And I'm just thinking, I'm chopped liver. So again, not to get into the gender thing, but it was really just, me as a, personality wise, but also, I didn't know at the time, but it was my ADHD. So.
Yes. And, just to circle back really quick, to like what self-care looks like for me.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Only because, not to like drive it back there, because like what
it's
what
important.
You said is
That's
really
a big
important.
topic. Yeah, that's a big topic, because if you don't have self-care, that resentment is why a lot of relationships get real wild, because you feel trapped. And if you're a people pleaser, porous person like me, I'm assertive if I don't know you, but if I know you and we've been ace boon coons and tight, I'm compromised, and I don't mind, but if you take advantage of it, it's like,
it's exhausting. It's exhausting. It's draining.
So self-care, speak on it.
Yes. Well, I personally think you hit the nail on the head with like ADHDers, just in general have problems with like the very simplest of human like hygiene things at times. Like,
that's what it is.
I'm serious.
The simple things.
Listen,
complicated
I'm here to keep
us.
it 100, guys. Like me, I brush my teeth every morning, but it's a battle. It's a battle. Like,
it just got real, folks. We're talking
teeth.
about brushing your teeth. We're not talking about
brush your damn teeth. Yay! And guess what I do?
We're talking about brush your teeth.
Guess what I do, Ken? When I shower, I brush my teeth. I stop and I do one of these. Thank you very much, because it's not easy for me to.
That's self-care.
You have to stop and celebrate. Self-love and self-care to me are totally interchangeable.
Claire,
like, stop and celebrate the little wins, people. Little wins, little wins.
That's
to me,
huge.
I drank 6 cups of water today. Yes, because
I conquered.
Yes, dude, for real, because like every little win. Okay, so I don't know if you guys follow Mel Robbins, but she's one of my favorite motivational personal development people, and she is also an ADHDer, and she's got so much great content. You may know her from her famous soundbite on like social media, short videos and reels on Instagram. No one's coming. No one's coming to save you. That's her voice. There's a popular soundbite out there. No one's coming to save you, baby. It's you. You have to save yourself. And she also talks about how stopping and celebrating every little triumph in your day, and that could literally be like, I took a walk around the block. Yes. It actually rewires your brain and your neural pathways to keep making better. Yes, baby. Yeah. To keep building more confidence. And guess what? Now I can tackle something a little bit bigger. Now I have the bravery to tackle my emails for the day. I don't know about you, Ken. I get so nervous, like, oh, I don't want to face the music. I don't want to check my emails. Like, if it's not within my working hours, I'm like, ooh, I don't want any bad news. I don't want
anxiety.
Any bad news.
Yeah.
Yes. And then when, I've gotten up early. The baby's on point, taken care of. Boom. I've brushed my teeth. I've had my coffee. I'm feeling like this euphoric high of confidence that doesn't
those
always
endorphins are like
hit.
percolating. Yeah,
you need it, and it gets me to my next step. Okay, now that's gonna make me feel real good. Now that my emails are taken care of, I just slayed that dragon, no problem. Now, I'm gonna check my bank account. That's always scary. Okay, I slayed that dragon. Now I know where I'm at for the month or whatever, and it just keeps building myself up confidence-wise. But my biggest thing is I try to keep it real with the down ticks as well, because all we see is so much toxic positivity.
We're talking about
like when I'm having a hard time. Like when I'm struggling, because I don't always get the best of my ADHD. Sometimes it's the boss. Sometimes I'm the boss. Sometimes my ADHD becomes the boss. And not every day is like I'm killing it. Like some days suck. Some days really suck.
Well, that's an acceptance and respect, because that ADHD.
Yes.
I mean, I liken it to Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, and I guess I'm really referring to more like childhood trauma or anything. Like Mr. Hyde is the kid who didn't get the chance to be and live and get accepted like you wanted. And Mr. Hyde is the keep it pushing guy. Hey, we don't got time for that. And just like that Mel said, ain't nobody but you. And that's in my mind, it was my mom raising me, but that was only her. So I started learning.
God bless your mom.
You know what I mean? Two boys. So I taught myself how to cook. I was being there. But it comes to a point where you kind of want to have someone that pours back into you if you're the person that's been keeping it pushing. So it's really tough. Yeah, it's really tough when you are running that road of DIY, but you get burned out. Then everybody's like, keep it pushing. You can do this. And you just want to hug. Like right now, I just need help getting a tutor.
That's not what someone needs to hear. Exactly. Like I'm gonna be really honest and say I was a culprit of this before I got a little older, a little smarter, a little wiser. I was definitely unknowingly doing that to my friends of like, it's okay, just get back up, because I thought that's what they needed. I thought they wanted like a pep talk. And sometimes you just need a friend or family or someone in your life to be like, that sounds like it sucks. I'm really sorry. Like sometimes it's not about like, let's fix the problem right away. It's like sometimes you need to unpack why it's hard right now.
And I'm learning that.
Get back up.
I'm learning that because
it's a long road, man. It's a long, windy road.
Exactly. And that's the crazy part is that it's a long running road and you don't even realize that you're being toxic. You know what I mean? Like
no. Think you're helping.
Exactly. So I have been told, and I didn't really like look at it that way, that I have been in my head, not in the human experience, meaning I guess my means to compensate for the trauma is I'm gonna achieve. I'm gonna get into network marketing. Okay, that's not working. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do this.
By the way, same.
Exactly. So you're sitting up there thinking to yourself, am I doing too much? And you start questioning, because if you have this big idea and everybody's thinking the word grandiose, which lends in itself. And just for the record, by those that are listening, we're talking about ADHD because that's what we have. But again, autism, which we're not as strange, but we split up. So, but we're really good friends before that, so that I don't have a problem. Is that she's autistic, and I call it the metaphorical neurodivergence versus the literal. So what's literally said will be understood, but in the grand scheme of everybody, even neurotypical, that's a common word to say, but there's a literalism behind it. So there's major, my whole family, I have ADHD, my son had ADHD and ODD. And it gets really tough when you have all that colliding.
Yeah. And everybody's kind of speaking their own language because there's different trains of thought happening between all those individuals, and Yeah, I can imagine that would be tough. That'd be tough.
Yeah. These last ones on ADHD, and then we'll move on to Claire herself. We kind of already went over living with ADHD, so I'm not going to really expand too much on that. But tell me about some hacks. I mean, there's I'm hoping, really hoping there's a lot of people, neurodivergents, that are listening, because these are the things that are not talked about.
There are.
Okay, awesome.
Guarantee.
Guarantee,
whether they know it yet or
true.
not. There are.
Considering I met a lot of ADHD people, but ADHD hacks. I mean, we've been, for those who probably didn't know they had ADHD, they've been probably unknowingly using a coping mechanism and a hack, and like double checking yourself and all that. But what was your biggest struggle, and what hacks have you used to overcome?
Wow, I love this question. I would say throughout the years, my strategy has evolved a ton. Listen, when I was medicated, no hacks needed. You just climb a mountain. You could run a marathon in, an hour flat, get back to all your emails and whatever. But nowadays, especially now I'm a new mom. I've got a 1-year-old.
Congratulations.
And so thank you so much. He's my little soulmate. But
my son
our life
too.
is.
Yeah, I love him.
I bet.
He's 5 though.
So, 5's so fun. 5's so fun.
Yeah.
That's so cool. So, a whole new, cluster of tasks per day have been kind of like unloaded on my doorstep, if you will. And so I find staying focused or air quotes on focused is pretty hard. So I follow the dopamine. Sometimes I'm like, okay, as long as I'm productive all day, I'm going to let my mind get distracted with other tasks in the house, because my husband works off the property and I'm at home and I work remote and I full-time mom. And that's like my SOP every day.
That's your thizzle.
Gotcha. Yeah, that is my shizzle thizzle. And what I do is the only thing that's structured are his nap times. So I work around his nap times, like as far as when I need a quiet space or doing something like this, for the most part. And then when he's awake, I make choices on, okay, what are quick things I should do while he's awake? Dishwasher, dishes, those are loud. I'm going to do those when he's awake. I can clean. He loves to follow me with the broom. I'm like, yes, finally, put you to work. Let's go. Earn your keep around here. Come on.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah,
it's like, just let him follow me around.
He doesn't know that this is not fun. So now it's fun.
Exactly. It's a disguised playtime. So that has taught me to just roll with it. Like when I was pregnant and before then, I would get really anxious if someone would like throw me off my schedule, because I'm sure, as you can relate, Ken, like we do need some structure or all hell can inevitably break loose.
I hated it before, but
structure is not fun, but it's necessary for someone. At least for me, I won't ever speak for another person, but like I know I need it because I'm a mess up here. So like, if I have like I have a hard deadline. I love a deadline because otherwise I'm going to put that shit off as long as possible until it's the night before. Blah, blah, blah. We love the drama. We love the thrill. I call it
clutch. I'm clutch. Yeah, I'm good at clutch.
I am too, because that's how we're wired. It's like to rise to that occasion last minute. Like, I know I can pull this off.
I mean,
why do we do it to ourselves? Oh my god.
Like you said, following the dopamine. I mean,
I just go from thing
acceptance.
to thing.
It's an acceptance thing. Like,
acceptance.
You're trying to fit yourself, and you're trying to, I'm gonna be on time, and I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna do that. But I'm 40. I just turned 47. I'm thinking that shit ain't happening. And, the whole planner thing, it ain't happening.
It's not just gonna fall into place. Yeah,
it's not. I just got on board with really checking my, my reminders and to remind the reminders, because it's you get so fearful of forgetting that you just kind of have this anxiety all the time. But I finally got with it, and I learned in residential that taking your medication at the same time. Again, I don't really like it. I'm just being compliant because of the VA. But that routine really, it was like, oh, this is what it's like. I thought it was boring, and I couldn't really like be impromptu because I'm totally impromptu. But it does allow you to be impromptu because you could structure your personal time and you could structure this, and you know, you get to have
empowering.
The fun. Right.
Yeah, and then you realize, like, once you do try to structure at least portions of the day, then, as you said, Ken, beautifully, oh, I have more fun time in my day than I thought I did. Like, oh, now I can stop and read a book for 10 minutes before I get tired. I only allow myself to read like 10, 15 minutes at a time. And then that way I can retain it, pick it up tomorrow, and I still get the pat on the back because I read a book today. And then next thing, because
celebrate.
I also,
that's amazing that you did. That was actually my word coming out of, you know, because the therapist, they give everybody when they graduate the program a word. Mine was celebrate. I don't. Because my mind is so busy on wanting to get things done, I forget that that's a thing. Like,
and there's
to
guilt.
celebrate.
There's guilt.
Exactly. Like, everything fun or enjoyment is associated with guilt, and that's really something that that I'm working through. Is just simply like on my birthday on Saturday, I wasn't gonna do anything, but then we just went downtown Redlands and just walked around. Went to a pizza shop that I kept seeing, but I was like, it was great, and we had some Baskin and Robbins. It was great, but that was an impromptu thing, and me going, nope, I should do this because it's good for my mental health. So, but my full-time job right now,
do it more.
Yeah,
like, oh, that was fun. I'm gonna keep doing fun things like that.
Exactly. We're coming down to the 10-minute mark. I'm gonna do some lightnings, but I wanted to highlight some things about you. As talent scouting, is that what, and you said showbiz, like, what does that look like?
Well, I would not say, I would say talent scout is the incorrect term, but I will say, so what I do for Lauren Petrullo, who's also been on the podcast, for the listeners out there.
Shout out, Lauren.
Shout out, Lauren.
We're missing you. I'm so mad at you. Why didn't you come?
No, be mad at technology, man. Be mad at technology.
Yeah, be mad at
I would never be. I would never be mad at. Yeah, I would never be mad. Yeah.
Lauren's heartbroken, by the way. She's like, I wanted to be there so bad. But no, she's having some internet issues. But what I do for Lauren and for Mongoose Media is I'm in the PR department. So what I do is I am basically Lauren's professional hype man. And
the ad-libber in the hip-hop.
That's right. I am her hype man. Like, yeah. What?
Yeah.
Okay. Say what? Clap your hands.
She's part of the Migos.
That's right. Right. I'm just the random friend in the back that they just gave a mic to, and that's just me. And I'm like, and I'm just like adding some layers to the vibe. But what I do right now is I book her on podcasts, and soon I will be expanding my role into more forms of PR, like press releases, booking her on like speaking engagements and things like that. Yeah, so I'm loving it right now.
I see you, Claire.
So
I see
fun.
you over there.
Thanks,
leveling
man.
Up.
Thank you.
Leveling the hell up.
Oh, you got to. I got a baby to feed, man. I can't be fucking around.
Isn't that? Go ahead.
How do you juggle, between work and home priorities?
That's a great question. Pretty well some days, but I'm lucky. Right now I'm working part-time, and since it's all remote, I can get my work done for the day in under 2 hours. And my little man naps an hour per nap 2 times. So that's when I do the lion's share of my work for Mongoose and for Lauren is when he is asleep, which is great.
Perfect timing.
But that will probably not last much longer. I have been told that he will probably naturally want to drop down to 1 nap a day. So I'm going to have to reevaluate.
No naps a day.
Ken, acceptance. I just got to roll with it.
And
just roll with that.
Not to, again, we're talking about the darkness of ADHD because of things that everybody. I mean, the superpowers is exactly what it is. It's not a mental. I call it mental health. Is it not a deficiency? A challenge. Challenge is just what makes things awesome. Is the challenge. Without pain, there cannot be any gain. Without pain, there cannot be any success. Without pain, there cannot be a lesson learned. So the another thing I wanted to really talk to you about was the like tennis. And you said that and how did that friendship develop? And with you guys being athletes, and how did that work out? And we're talking about two different types of sports.
Yeah,
that's right. So okay. Rewind 2008. Okay, can you see it? The campaign is just about to end. Everybody's all hyped. Okay. Ooh, there was just this vibe in the air, right? Everybody was like, "Yeah, yes, we can." Okay, so it was the best time.
That's Obama, people. If you don't remember,
the listener,
campaign.
If you're just tuning in, that's for the great Barack Obama, who was our fabulous president. I miss him so much. Anyway, that's another whole nother podcast. But anyway, so we were both recruited for Division I sports, NCAA, in our respective sports. Lauren was a soccer player, and I am a tennis player. I also played softball in high school. I went to Oak Park River Forest in sweet Illinois. Go Huskies!
Oh man, I'm gonna. I need an autograph from you, please.
Hell yeah! Anytime.
Awesome.
And so she went to Whitney Young Magnet School in Chicago, and so we had a ton to talk about. Tons of mutual family friends, and what they do for. Yeah, it was really like kismet that we met, and what they do is when you're recruited for D1, and I'm sure other divisions as well, they bring you into school 2 weeks early to start training, conditioning, getting to know your team before your first competition or whatever. And so what they did at my school was they did this big freshman recruit athlete like mixer thing, and they did like a whole day of like team building and icebreakers so we could kind of get to know our community, which is really cool because naturally if you're an athlete you're going to be friends with mostly athletes. That's just they get what you're going through. Exactly. They get what you're going through. Everybody can bitch and moan about sprinting and weight training, and like there's just so much common ground, and it really helps to have that tribe day one in college. Because so many people go into college like, I guess I better make some friends, so we were lucky that they kind of we were lucky that they kind of like delivered us friends on a platter day one.
Oh, nice.
And so we were paired up for like some 3-legged racer. I can't remember. And we were just like you said, like sees like, and oh my God, the vibes off the charts day one. We're just like,
and you guys are
do you want to be best friends? Yup. Like we were straight out of Step Brothers.
It was like a vetting
straight out of Step Brothers. Like, you meet best friends? Okay, we're in. Yeah,
I love it.
It was just out of the gate, great friendship. So, fast forward to sophomore year, Lauren makes this brave decision. She's like, you know what? I love this place. I love you, Claire. I love our friends. But like, I need to go to LA. I need to go to LA. This is what I need to do. I need to work for Disney. She wanted to do the coveted college Disney internship, which
Candy
everybody
maker
goes
over
for.
here.
Hell yeah. What's up, former cast member?
Former cast
that's
member.
sick.
I was a parking attendant, so. And I have my
hell
Disney
yeah!
shirt,
Oh,
so
that's
I have my
that's
Walt Disney
what's
shirt.
up?
That's right. I forgot about that. Yeah.
I love that. That's a nice color on you too, Johnny. I like that.
Thank you.
That's
Very
a
nice.
good look.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she went and did the damn thing, and I was actually really jealous of her and like had my own insecurities because she's like, dude, you should come with me. And I had family in LA. Like, I've been to LA's like my second heart is in LA. My first heart's in Chicago. First heart will always be Chicago.
Side-town
Second
stand
heart
up.
all day. Look, check me out. I got my volleyball shirt on.
Oh, represent.
North Avenue Beach, baby. But
no
yeah,
gang signs, no gang signs.
no gang signs. Only adult sport recreation.
Yeah, right.
Yes, absolutely. So I really wanted to go, but like I just had this inner guilt of I should really finish school. I've got a good gig with like playing tennis here. I don't want to screw that up. I had a partial scholarship, so that was really helping financially. And like, I have a lot riding on this place right now. She's like, yeah, so do I, but like, I'm going to LA. And I was already just in awe of her because she was always a great student, great athlete, great friend, like just on her shit all the time. And I just absolutely looked up to her. Like, wow, you just have so much. People. Yes, hello. Multiple awards. And so she packed up her dorm and I helped her, and she's like throwing all these mementos away and like really like not garbage, like these things. I was like, dude, you're going light. You're going real light to LA. What are you packing?
Minimalistic.
Yes, and she's like, if it doesn't fit in my duffel, I'm not bringing it. And I'm like, wow, that
became
like,
my thing in trucking. Yeah.
That is, to me, I am a little bit of a, I wouldn't say a hoarder. I'd say a little bit of a pack rat. I attach sentimental memories to objects, and like,
same here.
I've saved every greeting card I've ever gotten from someone in boxes because some people have passed away, and like it's nice to look back. And I'm very sentimental. What can I say?
Likewise.
And she's like,
nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Because sometimes I wonder if I'm a little kooky, but
it's key.
Yeah, thank you. But yeah,
Namaste.
she was just like, I'll take namaste. I see you. But she was just like, I'll scan those greeting cards. Now I have them on a hard drive. I'm out, and I'm like, wow, you are a G. You are a G.
Man, that's me. I'm all digital.
I love that though. I love that. You know how heavy these boxes are? Like, I need to get on your page. I do.
Yeah.
But
I actually have anxiety when it comes to the mail or paper. I'm super digital. Like,
that's so smart.
Yeah. So it's minimalist, but I am very much right in the middle. Like, I have a belt that I've had since high school. It's the belt that I have, it's the belt that I'll probably die with until it cracks or whatever.
That's a well-made belt. That's a good belt.
Yeah, it's the ones that are not layered. It's just one hide. So that's why it's last. It's a Gap belt. Shout out. No, we're not plugging.
Shout out to. No, they don't. No, make them pay for that, dude.
Yeah,
make them pay for that. Call me. I'll get you an affiliation ad deal. That's part of my gig too. But
we'll talk.
No, like for real. So we kept in touch because you just can't break that type of friendship. And luckily, I went out to LA, at one point, at least once a year, if not 2 or 3 times a year, depending on the year, to see family. So I was able to keep up with her easily, and that was great. She came back one Christmas break to surprise me, which was so cool. Like, she picked me up at the airport and like
besties, nice.
Or the train station. But anyway, cut to this year. Now I'm in Northern California, about 2 hours 45 minutes north of the Bay Area of San Francisco. So I'm out here. I am out here. Yeah, I'm way out here. So our work opportunities have kind of come to a lovely bow on it conclusion as far as what we've been doing out here. And she's like, I got a job for you. Like, come work for me. We're already best friends. You know everything about me. You know my whole backstory. You are the perfect person to pitch me to these podcasts.
Lauren. So people.
She threw me a big juicy bone, and she really got me out of my comfort zone with a lot of administrative stuff that I was so scared to even learn about. I was like, like I'm good with certain computer, like I can write, I'm HTML, no problem. I can write copy, but some of these back office softwares that she uses were really intimidating at first. And she's like, just learn it. You'll be good. Like, you got this, and I'm here.
That is
no,
awesome.
Yeah. She pushed
Whereas
me.
most employers
in
are like, if you don't know it, off with your head, or the dictator.
No, she's so patient. Like, she's way too patient. I'm like, you need to be meaner to me. You need to, like, hold me accountable because it's a slippery slope with me, guys. If somebody gives me slack...
Are we talking S&M stuff over here? Like,
no,
flog.
Ken, clean up your mind. Clean up your mind.
My bad.
No. But as far as, like... I love it. As far as she does crack the professional whip though very well in a friendly way, like, hey, you're doing great and I need this thing by tomorrow. And I'm like, okay. And I love that. Like, she so beautifully, I could talk a whole episode just about how great she is as a boss, let alone as like an amazing friend.
Save that for the next episode when she's with us.
Yes. Lauren Love Fest.
By the way,
episode
you guys
3.
are stuck with us, so this is going to be a lot of different breaking down
I
all
love
the
it.
topics. Yeah. So
this is a blast. I'm
going to get into the lightning round really quick.
Okay.
Because I know you got tons of things to do. So, funniest moment.
Ooh, in what? In what area? Like,
just like one that you can memorably go, like it happened out of the blue, and you're just like, that was pretty hilarious, you know? Like, I didn't expect that.
Woo! Well, I will say I have little moments like that every day with my little guy. He cracks me.
That would be the perfect place to go
all
with
the
funniest
time.
Moments. Yeah.
Yes, I'd say I'll give you a recent one because I'm lucky. I have a lot of funny people and moments and circumstances in my life all the time. But I'll say the one that cracks my husband and I up a ton is... Right now, Marshall is my son's name. He is learning how to open and shut all the cabinets and drawers, right? Like, that's
nice.
his favorite thing. Open, shut,
Sweet.
open, shut, open, shut.
Nice.
And he'll do that, like, until you redirect him elsewhere. And sometimes he gets... Sometimes... Yeah. And it just flies off the hinge.
Designer.
Whoa! Where'd that cabinet... Yeah, I know. Panic, everybody. But so sometimes if I'm turning my head for a moment away, you know, like doing something, I'll turn back around and he's like in a cabinet he should not be in.
Okay.
The busted look on his face is so good. I can't
Can you do the award-winning face? I mean, this is his signature, I'm sure.
It's just
Is it?
But then it's the shoulders too. It's the shoulders for me because I'll be like, Marshall, what are you doing? And I'll like jolt him out of wherever he is, and he'll be like,
yeah, I'm doing
and he'll
something.
just like, I was never here. I was never where you think I was. I was never doing what you think I was doing. And he'll like flee the scene of the crime. And it's to me,
he's like smoke ball.
He legitimately goes like, oh. And then just like dips out of the scene. And I'm like, you're not fooling anyone, man. Like, I saw you. And
my son's at that place
so
where he
funny.
straight up lies. And I'm like, dude, I wish I could pretend like you weren't. But so he just comes out with it because he knows how analytical and how deep I go. And he's
deny.
Yeah, I'll
just what they do.
Yeah. So
that's good.
This is a lead-in. The most awkward moment.
Oh my God, so many awkward moments with like, not to get too weird, but like my body after baby, you know, things happen out of your control that might not have happened that way pre-childbirth.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, there's been a few sneezes that took a wrong turn. You know, you get what
golden
I'm saying, right?
showers.
It's like, chew, and I'll be right back. Wardrobe change. I'm just Beyonce. It's not about, I didn't pee myself. It's just, it's fine. I'm a diva and I change outfits. It's different.
Yeah. It's natural.
No one's buying it. Nobody's
for
buying
me.
it. Yeah.
Funniest shit you've ever heard.
Oh boy. Oh my God.
These are all fun ones, by the way.
Okay. I was gonna say, oh God, the funniest thing I've ever heard has to be, and I'll give like the PG-13 version, has has got to be
Why?
from my
We're
husband,
adults
Reed.
here.
Well, listen, I have parents, okay, and they will certainly
right.
be.
My bad. Shout out
Okay,
to
listen,
parents.
I'm from Chicago,
guys.
okay? All my friends and family will see
Yeah.
this, okay? So I gotta keep it somewhat, presentable.
I'm a bad influence.
I know, you're egging me on. I love it. So my husband, his name is Reed, and he
Reed, shout out Reed.
shout
Reed.
out my love.
Yeah.
He cracks me up. The funniest thing he's ever said, and I was like crying laughing, was, okay, we're extreme Marvel MCU fans in our family. Okay.
Oh
Extreme.
my God, I love you
Okay.
guys. Marvel.
Yeah, dude. All day. And so we're watching, I think it was Civil War, when Vision, okay, Paul Bettany's character, Vision is, I don't know, just shooting the breeze with Wanda about something, right? And Reed's like, "Ugh, Vision, what a loser." And I'm like, why? He's like so dope. He's got all these different abilities, and he's like all knowing and like humble, and like Vision's sick. What's wrong? What's your problem with Vision? So I'm getting like defensive about Vision. I'm like, how dare you? I love Vision. He's like so pure and like innocent and like so wise, whatever. He's like, ugh, he doesn't even have any junk. And I'm like, why?
Are you
like he's a
like
Ken
time
doll.
stands still and you're like,
I'm like, why is that a priority? He's fighting crime. He doesn't need junk. If anything, he can spend less time in the bathroom, more time fighting crime or like saving the universe.
the whole big job of being a superhero, not
But like
thinking about your junk all day.
Okay, hold on. I gotta get serious because I gotta get into character for Reed when he said this, because he was so like disappointed in Vision. Okay, he's like, he doesn't even have any junk. Like he was heartbroken or something, or like he doesn't count as a person, or he doesn't count as like an entity because he doesn't have
it was
that.
like it was
I'm like,
super serious.
he's like, what does he matter? He doesn't even have junk. And I'm like, why is that on the top of the priority list? Like, what? And I just, the fact that he said it so like forlorn and like
innocent.
like he doesn't even matter. He's like not even a guy, or not even a person, a human. You know, it wasn't a gender thing.
That's
Don't come
actually
after me. Don't come after me, people. It wasn't a gender thing. It was literally like just not a human thing. And so, don't torch us, please, online, everybody. Everybody, we're all nice people. We're all open people. It's not about that. It's not like that. But it was just like, what's the point of any heroes anymore?
Being a man, if
doesn't
you
even
don't
have
have
junk. And I'm like, dude. So
favorite.
I still laugh at that.
Oh, hold on. Before you go on, Ken. Claire, what was his reaction when Vision died?
He's like,
Yeah.
yeah. He was like, get out of here. And I was like,
It was real. It was real for him. It was really
yeah,
real.
he was like, sweet justice. And I'm like,
we
Jesus,
validate
dude.
that awkward moment. We're not talking about you. We just think that was a little interesting.
Right? No, that's the
Random
whole
as fuck.
point. No, exactly. That is what made it so funny. It was
Random
like,
as fuck.
where's your head at, dude? But
Stay
God,
tuned for a podcast. I was thinking
crying
about Rando Commandos based on the ADHD mind that,
Ooh.
we actually went on topic, but, I
I
actually want to
love
make a
that.
podcast where
I'm
we can just
in.
do whatever we want. But the last one I'll get into, because I'm a digital media major, and you said behind the scenes in the showbiz.
Ah, yes. Expand on that.
Well, I
in general.
mean, like, are you in the entertainment industry as far as, or like movies or anything like?
Oh God, I wish I was. No, but what I meant by that was like, I love anything behind the scenes. I love showbiz
got it.
because I come from a showbiz family. Both my parents,
And that's what I was trying. Yeah, I think I was trying to find where that
I got you.
thought process came from. Yeah.
100%. So I come from a very performative family background. Both my parents graduated from the entire course at Second City. They were very amazing there. And I also did IO for 2 years, loved it. And we've
explain
been
IO briefly.
Well, it used to be called Improv Olympic, but then the Olympics sued them, and now they're just called IO.
Jesus! Wow.
Yeah. But
you can't even say Olympic.
I know. It's so real out there. It's so nitpicky out there. But
petty.
It's so petty. But for reference, so IO and Second City are the two biggest places where people get cast for SNL from. And
okay.
So when people are big into improv, they might be from New York, but they'll come to Chicago to be on with Second City or with IO, or oftentimes both. So Second City
Fun
is
facts.
more. Yeah, right? So, and I could talk your ear off about this, but I'll try and keep it quick. So there's two schools of thought, literally, and what Second City does is they use improv as a tool to write sketches that then they perform in their shows. And then there is an improv like show after the main show, like on Saturday nights, which is dope and free. You just have to wait. It's 1 in, 1 out. And you should go to Second City and check out a free improv show if you're there.
Second
But
City,
IO,
writing that down.
yes, absolutely, respect. And IO is different. It's the other school of thought, which is solely improv based. And they believe, and I agree with this, they believe that improv is the main event, is the main show. And so they practice, but there's all these awesome shows at IO with different themes of improv. So there's a million different ways improv presents itself. There's the traditional herald, which is several acts, like in a play, act 1, act 2, and then they bring their jokes full circle at the end to kind of like bring the story home. And that is what a herald is. That is a very textbook form of improv. But then they also have Shakespeare improv, like where everyone doth speaketh like this. But yeah, but it's all off the dome, and it's amazing. Like, how do you do that?
I
It's
am
epic.
super good at improv.
It's
I love
so
improv.
cool.
Yeah.
Dude, you should check it out and see
am.
what's up, because it's really cool. And when you're a student at IO, you actually get to go to a lot of free shows with your student ID, which is really cool.
Nice.
But anyway, so I come from that background. I've done plays my whole life. I've done, stuff even with my parents, my dad. Shout out to John Griffin and
John
Jennifer
Griffin,
my
Daddy
parents.
O.
Yes, my dad
Mama.
actually. Yeah, right. I'm so lucky. I come from two extremely dynamic performers, and they will never say
is
that about
amazing.
themselves. But my dad actually, for the last, I'm 33. So my dad, for at least 30 of those years, directed and wrote and produced play every summer at our tennis club in River Forest.
Wow.
Nice.
It was formerly known. Yeah. So it was basically like sketch comedy, like an SNL episode with different sketches, totally unattached to each other, different storylines and songs. So he would rewrite popular songs to fit a funny tennis theme. Or
oh my God. I love
you
this.
guys,
This is what
it's so
this is
meta.
Stuff I do every day.
It's so meta. It's so deep. And you can actually
God.
find old shows if you search RFTC, Old Members Show, or now it's known as All Members Show, RFTC on YouTube. But you guys, I hope you watch one, because you will just geek out. It's all these ridiculous people like that are so funny and cool, but like very professional in their real lives.
You said
and
RTC?
they're just like RFTC, River Forest Tennis Club. Shout out. I grew up there. I learned how to play tennis on those courts. My dad was also a tennis player. He taught me how to teach tennis and play tennis. He went to Northern Illinois, go Huskies as well. And he taught me everything I know about tennis, and that club is where I learned how to play as well. So, but it's really fun and musical, and rehearsals every weekend and every week. And so I'm so lucky to have come from a world where, like, I know how to block a scene. I know how to stand on stage where things need to go, timing of jokes, and that really set me up well for like learning improv on my off time and things like that. So I'm not currently in show business. I am starting to do voice acting actually on my own.
Nice.
Since it's remote, I got the mic right here. Like I can do it remotely, and so I'm just starting
loving this remote life nowadays.
Yes, listen, I'm out here, dude. Ken, look, I'm out here, bro. Look.
Oh, it's real.
I'm in the mountains.
It's real.
It's as real as it gets. Yeah.
Oh shit.
So,
man. I'm
so
jelly
I don't
right
have
now.
other opportunities.
Peanut butter.
It's cool. Listen, it's cool until it's not. Until you want to hit up Target, then there's a problem.
Oh right.
There's
yeah,
a real
remote
problem.
As hell.
Yeah, like I can't just listen, we love where we live. It's been so amazing, close to nature, all of that. Like very, very amazing. The community in Willits is wonderful. Like the people here are so kind and like that small town vibe. But I want to put my kid in a stroller and walk down the sidewalk. Like I want to walk to the park, and we can't do that here. We're literally on a hill.
Like normal urban people.
Yeah. So for those reasons, we're looking to relocate pretty soon, actually. But yeah, so that's as close as I get currently to showbiz, is working on the PR side, booking podcasts. I really love that space. I listen to a million podcasts, so I am so honored to be on one. Like this is so
and her
effing
first
cool.
two.
Oh, we're honored to have you for your
this
debut.
This is so awesome. Thank you guys.
It's
so cool.
You're a very dynamic person. And where can everybody find this dynamic person on social media?
Great question. Well, my Instagram name is Self-Care with Claire. So
Ooh, heavy. Celebrate people.
Yeah. I post just a bunch of me frizzy-haired, sweaty with my baby because I like to normalize like not being perfect all the time, and I'm sick of all these Instagram moms with like Louis Vuitton matching baby outfits.
Hey guys.
Like, good for you. That's not my journey, and it's probably not a lot of other people's journey. So, like, follow me. I'm smelly all day. Come with me. Normalize that shit. It's cool.
Yeah, this
Be
is
yourself.
way more attractive.
Right.
Be yourself. So yeah, I just try to keep it real, and I want to start doing more self-care content. I do a lot on my stories and stuff, but I need to get back into it as far as like permanent content.
We will be on the same page because I actually want a lot of times when a guest will come on, I speak a lot on mental health because that is the catalyst for anything you do. Consciousness is everything. So to not, we could talk about successful practices and personal development and all the accolades, but from whence did it come from, and where was the dark places, and where was the triumph? Where were you mentally when all this has happened is what I like to speak about, because without that, the uniqueness of how your journey is rolling out, what's the point of talking about it without those foundational places where your mind's at? Because, being a person who's, attempted suicide, there was this, it's an escape, but there's this big version of you that's itching to be, but you're kind of, and I always say I put myself in this mental box and maybe lack of knowledge and so on and so forth, but it is huge to be able to live it and be in that space where you're doing self-care and doing the things that you're doing to, as a person with ADHD. And that's one of the biggest things I want to talk about is, again, pain begets, lessons, and that failure and being ADHD and being successful as you are, I think that's a very good testament to overcoming and triumph over everything. So it's been a pleasure having you.
Thank you, Ken. Ken, can I say one thing to Ken? I am so happy that you're here, and I'm so glad that you did not succeed. And I'm really glad to have met you. You're so
I'm grateful
special and so cool. And Johnny, you're great too.
Oh, thank you.
But Ken, you're a fighter, man, and I'm really, really happy that you failed. Really happy.
That's the first time I've heard an uncompliment, but it's a compliment because
it's the biggest compliment.
It is, and my intuition and my son and my daughter, nothing more than those, because I promised them that I'll always be here for them, and I promised myself I would want to be at my greatest potential. And where would I be besides energy? Because energy is forever, not living out this journey. So thank you very much. I think mentioning suicide this past year fell on numb sociopathic ears. So for you to be able to acknowledge it right off the bat is like, yeah,
it's everything.
It was a thing that,
yeah.
It was a thing, and people that are struggling with it, again, it's only an escape, and it's a false moment of security to relieve pain. So that's a whole nother topic, but thank you very much. Because mental health is extremely important when it comes to getting through this, much like this society is getting so much more complicated besides ADHD, just for everybody. So, take care of yourselves, and like Claire over here, because she's self-care.
Hey, I'm just trying, guys. I'm trying, and I'm a mess, and I'm open about it.
But your handle, you just said self-care with Claire, right?
Yeah, but that's my take on self-care. It's messy, and it's not one linear stairway to heaven. It's hard, and sometimes we fail, and sometimes I don't make it to my yoga mat. Sometimes I don't make it to, just the little self-care things that we all want to try to do. Sometimes I don't make it to my 5 minutes of meditation I promised myself in the morning, and it's about quieting that dark mind. Acceptance. Like don't give yourself a hard time. You already missed that one opportunity to love yourself. You don't need to punish yourself further for it. And that's something I battle with, is that internal voice. The mom guilt is so real. If I'm sitting down for more than 5 minutes, I feel guilty. I should be cleaning. I should be meal prepping or doing sensory trays for my child, or like,
just FYI, it's not,
put your feet up.
It could be a mom thing, but it's mostly the
of course
for the ADHD. It's the ADHD
100%.
But I'm gonna hand it back over to JE with some closing statements.
Hey Johnny, how have you been?
I'm good.
We see you over there, buddy.
Oh, hey, how's it going? Long time no see. What's up?
I know, right? Anyways, Claire, I just wanted to ask you a quick question before we close this out. You miss Chicago? Since I'm over here in the Aurora, Naperville area.
Oh my God! I used to live in Lisle at 4 Lakes.
Oh wow!
Yeah. Of course I do. Every movie I watch with like a drone shot of like LaSalle, the bridge, like. Or, Upper Wacker, all that stuff. I'm like, oh, my home sweet home. I miss you so much. Our village is still in Chicago. So, like, our friends, our family, most of our friends and family are there. So it is hard, but I do miss it. It's the greatest city in this country for sure, probably the world. But I will always be a Chicagoan through and through. It's the best city, in my opinion, by far.
Cool. Do you and Lauren ever go together to visit?
We haven't gone together. She was actually just there for a wedding, which is awesome. My husband Reed and Marshall and I are hoping to pack up the clown car and get down there for the holidays. We'll see. For December stuff. Yeah, we'll see. I hope so, because, Chicago summer is epic. But, like, Chicago Christmas time is magic as well.
Yes.
Like, the lights, Millennium Park, you got the skating rink. Like, is it more...
Ken, right?
Does it get more picturesque?
Yeah, well, for me, I went to boot camp on Great Lakes, and then the visit when I
Are you a naval guy?
I'm a naval guy.
guy?
Yeah,
I'm
a Navy guy.
I've been to that training. I've been to that base camp or whatever up there. Very impressive. Very cool.
Yeah.
Thank you for your service too, Ken.
Thank you very much. Chicago to me, and I'm a LA. I mean, not LA. I'm really just all over the place. I moved a lot, but I love the Bulls, man. My first event was, when I went to go visit JE, was a Clippers versus Bulls game when Butler and Blake Griffin were on, and the next event was the Blackhawks. So I'm like an adopted implant to to Chicago. Yeah.
Right on. That's so cool.
Yeah, we haven't seen each other in how many years, Ken?
2017, right?
And
was
you
that
were
the
a
last
truck
time?
driver, and you made your
Wow,
truck assignment over here?
Yeah, I mean, I've taken a step back from trucking because of the savagery, and I'm, my full-time job is health management. Just really stepping back, and we're talking about many years of keeping it pushing. So this stillness has allowed me to adopt a schedule. Because your schedule at work is your schedule, but at home, if you don't have one, it gets chaotic. So right now, it's working on my service connection with VA and just stepping back and
Good for you,
enjoying
man.
the
That's
details.
awesome.
My son is one of the biggest reasons is being there for him, and he gets out of sorts when he's not around dad. So priorities.
Yeah.
Good man.
Yeah. So
we're going to continue on this episode. We're going to have now a third part, because this is supposedly the one where we're supposed to have Lauren with us, but we are going to have a part 3, just so you know.
Absolutely.
But this episode was powerful.
I just want to make it clear to all the viewers and listeners out there. Yeah.
Thank you so much for having me, guys. This has been an absolute delight.
You saved the day, Claire. You saved the day.
No, you are great with you're off the cuff when it comes to the topics, and I love that. And I think you feel the same way when it's I'm bored with this podcast. Why are we talking about the same thing? I like to ask questions that make you go, oh shit, I wasn't expecting that. So you roll with it. So you're a natural. So it's been a pleasure being with talking to someone who's killing it, triumph over everything. And again, shout out to Reed and your son Marshall. They I'm pretty sure they're super proud of you. So
thank you.
I'm proud of you.
Hope so. I'm trying.
Likewise.
That's all I can do is just try. That's all I can do.
That's true.
Thanks, man. Thank you.
Well,
both.
Johnny, let's close out the block.
Yeah, thanks for checking out this episode. We're always on every time. So me and Ken will be back at it once again, and hopefully Claire and Lauren will be together. We got to get 4 of us this time. And damn you, technology. Sorry, I had to say that.
Well, Claire's been a dynamic guest all by her lonesome, so powerful.
The main attraction.
Thanks a million, guys. Love being here. See you soon.
All right, have a good one now.
Peace.